Greetings. It's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. As you can see, I'm in the greenhouse. I haven't been in here since the wintertime, much. I haven't showed you guys anyway. And it's a little cool out today, so I'm pretty much finished up for the day, and I came in here to work on an idea that I had yesterday. And yesterday, this is like an idea within an idea. Yesterday, while we were having lunch, I exclaimed, "I have an idea." And one of my kids, Jim, actually got up from the table, took his plate, and went in the living room. So that's kind of what happens around here sometimes. But yesterday, what our project was, a little on the distracted side on this project, but as you can see, we ran water in here yesterday. And I'll show you where it originates. On this post right there, we have a water outlet there. So we had to dig a trench over here and then trench it into here. And I wanted to show you what we put in. This is what we use, is this black plastic pipe. Like I told you before, this is 3/4 inch inside diameter, and I use the lower PSI one, the skinnier stuff. And you put it together just with regular hose clamps, and then there's PVC fittings that go on the inside. They call them barb fittings. I can show a couple of those here. But we ran this in, and the idea is when you're in the greenhouse and you want to water, you don't have to drag a hose in from outside. We have this handy dandy little wand here, and then I just have a chunk of old hose, and the water pressure is left on all the time, and I can see that I can just mist this stuff if I want to, and I can do it as much as I want. This thing's got a bunch of different settings on it, and this is where I usually have it. This is on shower. All right, this is all garlic that Jill's planted. Here's my Anthony Monet trees over here, and they're really rocking. I'm going to have to give Anthony a call because I'm not sure if I'm supposed to pick those buds off of there. Anyway, the idea that I had, we were in here yesterday and it was hot as blazes. And I thought, what if I could heat water in here? So as I was eating my lunch, I got to thinking, what do I have that I could use? And I thought about this. This is a plastic drum, as you can see. This one had pickles in it at one point, because it still smells like pickles a little bit. And I thought, if I had this full of water, had 50 gallons of water in here, and I had it sitting over here, like that, you can see, it's out of the way. You got it sitting on 2 cinder blocks. Then I could dip water out of there and it would be not freezing cold, because the water that I have in this blue one right here is actually pretty warm. And for watering your plants, you really don't want to be hitting them with really cold water. And all of our lines here are buried, so the water is going to be 45, 50 degrees in the summertime. And in here, it can be very warm. It can be, well, it's 80 in here right now. The sun's getting pretty low in the sky. Today's the 4th, by the way. I don't know if I said that, of May. So I could do that. I could dip water out of there, and that's cool. But then I got to thinking, what if I pressurize that with the system water pressure, with the water pressure from this hose right here, and then put a mixing valve so I could mix the hot water from there and then the cold water so I can get the water temperature that I want, because I actually tested this one time before. I didn't know how exactly I was going to do it, but the water that's in here will get quite warm. I didn't put a temp on it, but I will this time. So that was the idea that I had that sent Jim packing from the table. So I have this top, and I got these fittings. These happen to be PVC fittings too, and they happen to be electrical fittings because the store that I go to didn't have anything that was just going to be pressure fittings for PVC. So I got these, and they're fine. They're tough enough. And they fit, this piece of conduit fit in there really nicely. And on PVC, whenever I'm doing stuff like this, I use this stuff called shoe goop. You can get it almost any place, and it works really, really well. I did find out, though, that you never want to have some of it on your hands and then put your hands in your gloves. Because the next thing I found out was my good gloves, I turned them inside out. I pulled the liners out of them. So what I will do, you see this, that's going to be a standpipe. So that's where the cold water will come in. And it will go to the bottom of the tank. And you know, the colder water will be at the bottom of the tank, and then the warmer water, heat rises, right? The heat will come to the top of the tank, and that's where we'll take the hot water off. All right? Now, what I'm planning to do, as I started thinking about this, you know, here I am in the greenhouse, and it's quite a ways from the house, adjoins this garden here. Many, many times in the summertime, this is where we finish up the day. You know, we'll eat dinner. There's nothing to do. Everybody splits from the campfire. It's still light out. Sometimes we'll come out here, me and Jill, and we'll weed, pick things, fool around, just talk. And then you're going in the house. And what usually happens then is, you know, bed. But before you do that, you got to hit the shower. Well, it seems to me that I would like it if I built kind of a privacy fence out here just to the east of the barn and have a bench in there so you can go in there and have hot water in there, take a shower right in there, and then go into the house. And I know it would save money because we have an electric water heater. And all right. Said it was trying to reconnect, so it must have disconnected. I'm going to try something. I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi thing on my phone off next time and just go off the phone. But yeah, so that was the end game of my idea, would be right out here on the other side of this strawberry patch, would be to build a little privacy fence and have a shower there. So that was my great idea, and I ran it past a few of the folks in here, and they thought I was crazy, but that's the way that goes. I also thought, while we're along those lines, is getting one of those watering troughs, you know, one of those, Rubbermaid makes them. They're pretty good size. I think they're maybe 100 gallons, and it's almost like, they almost look like a bathtub. So wouldn't it be something if you could come out here at night, fill that thing up with you know, nice warm water, and be able to look up at the stars and have a bath. All right, so that was my great idea. All right, I'm going to cut it off from here. I'll pick it up tomorrow. Remember, anyone can farm.